So one of the fears I definitely had when I was just getting started out with working with people was, are things going to work? Am I do I really have that ability to transform people's health? And I was actually very surprised at myself that I actually did have that ability. In fact, the first person who ever said to me, "Thank you, you helped me more than any doctor," I knew that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. But it definitely was something that I was afraid of at the beginning. I didn't know whether the things that I was going to do are going to work. I was very skeptical myself, sometimes, of how can something work when there's so much evidence out there that things can't work, or people say things are impossible and things like that. So that was a big fear. And another big objection that I had at the beginning was, I worked a full-time job before I started health coaching full time. And I was at a restaurant waiting tables and bartending and things like that. And it was a lot of heavy work. And then on my days off, I had to put on a suit and go and talk to a chiropractor and or another client, and sometimes get told no. And so having a support structure with a coach, my mom happened to be my coach, so that was helpful. But having that support structure there was really crucial, because doing it on my own without any sort of support would have been very challenging. And I don't know if I would have gotten there just trying to force it out on my own.
Yes, that's true. And for me, I have PhD in electrical engineering, and I knew that I know how to design systems, and I was good with computers. And I knew that anything I will start, I can make it work because that I proven it over and over in my life. However, this is so different because when you work in engineering, I have me, my computer, and I have to solve the problem. But here you're working with people and everybody is different and you have to just help them and understand them. Uh, Coaching was absolutely necessary. The first, when I got started, it was not easy for me to really get good results. But when I get my coaching, when I understood what it is all about, that I'm here to help people and I'm able to do it, and people are getting results, then it changed everything.
I remember for myself, one of the clients that initially I mentioned, that they said I changed their life, and what really opened my eyes to this whole thing and what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. The reason why it was so profound was because they were initially so skeptical. In fact, I remember they said to me, they were like, "Oh my gosh, well, if this works for me, then I'm going to make you famous." Those were exactly her words. And even though sometimes when people say things like that, then in reality, it did work for her. But then that whole making me famous thing, sometimes people walk back what they say. But it was one of those things where she really did thank me. And the thing is, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like, "Oh, here, just take something and then, hopefully it'll work." No, I really had to hold her hand, walk her through month to month. She wasn't getting results at first. And then suddenly she started getting results. And when she finally thanked me and she said, "You've helped me more than any doctor has ever helped me," that joy that I felt was especially because of that work that I did and the effort that it took. So that was just one example. We had another woman, I remember, she had tried everything. She was in constant discomfort. Her sister was beside herself because her sister was watching her in all this discomfort, and they had tried everything under the sun. And finally, she came to us, and we were her last resort. It was like, if this isn't going to work, I don't know what else. And we told her that in this process, sometimes you can have more discomfort before things get better. And sure enough, around month two, she calls and she's like, everything hurts now. And we say, that's a good sign. That means that it's working. And just give it a couple of weeks. And then she calls back in a couple of weeks. And sure enough, she's like, I am in shock because for the first time in my life, I don't have the discomfort that I had before. And since I can remember, I've had this discomfort. And that was so profound because her sister was looking at her like couldn't believe her eyes that finally something worked for her. And these are just some of the stories, you know. Do you have one that you can think of?
Yeah, I wanted to share that I was working with medical doctors, and this is my profession in biomedical field. Also, I work with many doctors, but here the doctors told me, "Well, if this really is so fantastic, why nobody knows about it?" And I said, "That's a very good question, but this is the truth." And as a matter of fact, we started working with one of the doctors who was so fascinated with the results, and that she decided to do it like almost full time, because she said that she can help her clients much better with using this system than without it. So, and she became a advisory board in the company. So it's amazing. But yes, people are skeptical at the beginning, and that's very normal because nothing like this exists.
And remember, the health food store owner. You know, we work with a health food store owner who, at the beginning, he was like, "Look, I'm going to try it for a few of my clients," and he was very matter of fact. He was like, "Either it's going to work or if it's not." And lo and behold, you know, the 10 packages. He started very small, relatively speaking, and things started working for his clients, and we started working with him to get his clients results, and soon enough, it became now many, 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 many more clients. He's significantly increased his income, and he's very, very happy.
And I remember the people who were his clients, like especially women who are pretty wealthy, let's put it this
Yeah.
way. And they are buying creams. They used to buy creams for $1,000 or whatever it is. And they came to us and they said, wow, but this is whole system is
Yeah.
so much more effective. And they are extremely happy with the results.
And there is one more that I remember. We work with her now. She's a natural health practitioner. And she flat out said, you know, if what you're doing doesn't work, I will tell you to your face. Don't waste my time, basically. And we started working with her, and she actually had an issue with her eye that we were able to completely make better. And because of that, she was very scared. It was an injury that happened with her, and it was involving her retina. And she calls me and she's like, "You said that you can help with that too, can't you?" And I said, "Yeah." Yeah, and so we started working together, and then she was amazed that her retina completely healed, and she was very happy with that. So it's really amazing the skepticism that we encounter at the beginning. And that's another reason why we even started this podcast, because it is very natural to be skeptical. There's so much stuff out there. But there's so many people who have been so skeptical with us who've now joined, you know, working with us and are very, very, very happy, and their clients are very happy.
And people are coming and say that they tried everything. That for many years, some people had problems for 28 years or longer, and they tried everything,
You know,
and nothing really worked. So that means that something worked first, but the problem persisted, so came back, and they lost hope. They
yeah.
lost hope. They said, well, maybe that's it's going to be like is that there is no hope for them. But when we started to work with them, and this is a key, that we work with them,
Right.
so they are not left just, oh, take just this and bye bye. No, we just work with people for it so that they can achieve their results.
Yes. And if you're afraid of getting started, I completely understand. In fact, before I understood what I understand now, had completely written myself off as like, well, I'm never going to be doing anything related to this in my life. I had stopped believing in myself. And first of all, what really rekindled that belief was seeing results. So for me, what's most important is get your own results with things when you get started. You don't want to start something where you don't have your own results yet. Usually it doesn't work very well. So a number one, just try things for yourself. Work with us first and see how things work for you as just a person who's getting more results with their health. Yeah.
Or somebody from close in your family. Like in my case, I thought I don't need it, but my husband had a problem with the shoulder. He couldn't move the arm. When it worked for him and I saw it, then of course I had the belief. And belief is critical that we have something incredible. So this is the next thing, get results either yourself or somebody very close to you so that you can help them. I also was happy to help my mom, who the doctor said that they are that she's going to be blind. She already started preparing herself, her apartment, so that in case if she gets blind, she can move there. And after a few months, she was so happy because the doctor said everything is reversing, and she doesn't need the injections anymore in her eyes, which were extremely painful. And I am telling you this as an example because there is no critical clinical studies for eyes. That's I want to make sure. However, there is we have the this is more like an anecdote, but it is true. It is the closest people in my family who got those results.
Yeah, and another thing when you're afraid of getting started is you're afraid of doing it all alone. And so another tip is to really rely on us. If you're going to get started with us, rely on us as coaches. We will assist you. We will assist your clients. This is what we love to do. So don't be afraid, or don't think that, oh, well, if I get started, that I have to do everything on my own. I have to figure everything else out. We have a lot of the things already figured out. And all you really have to do is book a call and speak with us. So in order to do that, you just go to agereversingsecret.com, and there's a free PDF that you can download on there. And in the PDF will be the link where you can book a call with us. And all you have to do is book the call, and we will take it from there. We will
And
support you fully in this, just like we support clients in getting results. We'll support you fully in getting to the next level in your business.
yes, and when you book a call, remember there is no obligation, nothing. It's just informative call. You can ask any questions you have and see if that's something for you or not.
Yeah. So that's it for this episode, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to From Wellness to Wealth. Grab our proven guide to age reversing system at agereversingsecret.com and join our community of modern professionals optimizing their health, wealth, and life, one biohack at a time. Until next time, keep thriving. From wellness to wealth.